Hey everyone, it's Saturday. Time for another episode of Beyond Garnet. Let's get creative.
Maybe too intense for some listeners, may be unsuitable for sensitive people, may cause dizziness, may cause drowsiness, may cause excitability. Safety goggles may be required for listening. Take with food, avoid contact with skin, avoid extreme temperatures, and store in a cool, dry place. This is not legal advice, must be present to win. Contents under pressure may contain small parts. Listen at your own risk.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. All my actress friends, this is a good one for you. You'll know my guest from The Last American Virgin, Better Off Dead, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and the Amityville Murders. Joining me today is the fantastic Diane Franklin. Hey Diane, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on your show.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. So I did a little research on you, of course. I knew who you were. I've seen a lot of your films, but I didn't know you started out doing commercials.
Yes, this is interesting. I have actually wanted to be an actress since I was really 4 years old. Literally, I was, raised in the TV generation, and I would watch TV. I was raised as an only child, and I watched that girl. She was one of the few dark-haired actresses at the time in the sea of blonde, like Bewitched and Barbara Eden and, I Dream of Jeannie and
Right.
Pinto Junction and all that. And so I really bonded with her. And on the show, she played an actress. And she had a bubbly energy, and I have that as well. And I really bonded with her. And so my parents actually, they had me go and, actually they didn't. I asked them, I was like, I want to be on TV. I remember saying that to them. And then they were like, okay. They didn't know what to do. They were German immigrants, and they found an agent. I don't even know who it was at the time, but at 4 years old, they said, "Oh, well, her hair is too short and curly," and I was probably, too excited and didn't have any, obviously any training or anything, so experience. So they said, "Wait a few years, wait till it grows out, and she can straighten it, and she could try again." So I assume my parents were sort of thinking, well, she's going to forget that. She's going to want to be an actress. But I surprised them, as so many young actors do, where they stay on course.
Right.
Right. There's the turtle in the hair, and then the turtle part of me was like, I am going to be an actress. So I would take dance lessons, I took ballet, and eventually later I took singing, and I was always acting things out, and I would put my stuffed animals out, and I would act for them, and I was a very free, I put on shows.
Right.
My parents said we would walk in and out of a living room, and I'd still be doing them, and I'd act out things I saw on TV, and I was a very free, and I'm still a free person, but I was very imaginative and free, and had the time, when you're a child, to have that time to do it is so important to develop your creativity.
Right.
And I would draw, paint, you really need that. I think that's so difficult today is that so many kids are on the internet when they're free, in their free time, or they're, watching instead of doing. And so that's where the skill comes. You have to make a lot of mistakes, before you can get good at something.
Yeah.
You feel like you have 10,000 hours of what you're doing to make to be a professional at whatever you do. I did that, and then when I finally hit 10 years old, I begged my parents, and they were like, "What do they do with this child? I don't understand." Said, "Okay, but fine." They didn't have any connections. They didn't know anyone in the entertainment business. They really were taking a chance. And we made a mistake. I think we had an agent who said, "Pay me, and I'll get your daughter auditions." That's a scam.
Yeah.
Of course, we didn't know that at the time.
Right.
But through that, and here's the other thing is, it's better to make a mistake and fail and learn than it is to never try.
Absolutely.
So through that mistake of not finding the right agent, we did get word of mouth to someone who was a real manager. And at first, I started actually with modeling. Then I started modeling because, again, I had no experience, and there was no teaching or training at the time for young children. In fact, they really didn't believe that children should take acting lessons at such a young age because they thought that would create the lack of it would be too manufactured and not natural performance.
Okay.
So they didn't push acting lessons. They would always just say, just perform in school plays and just, be yourself. And but what I wound up doing was I did modeling, and the modeling, it was interesting. I have to say, and I highly recommend this. When I was a child, I took ballet. And in fact, there was no musical theater dance. Jazz was barely taken seriously, okay?
Yeah.
Tap dancing existed, but it was not, there was a limited kind of dance training you could get. And ballet, though, taught me so much about body control and how to handle, strangely, really how to help me with modeling, but then also help me with the camera and for acting. So I had tremendous knowledge of how to use one part of my body and not another, or to have that self-control, or just stay still, but natural. And
Yeah.
modeling got me to do that first, and then commercials were the first acting, professional acting I did. Although the modeling was professional, I did like CD catalog and pennies, and oh my gosh, hilarious. Just like, oh my goodness, ads. And I'd be wearing, furry hot coats in the summer, sweating.
Yeah.
And with a big smile on my face, and then the winter with bikinis and freezing,
Right. You started out modeling and then transitioned to commercial. When did you develop like the trademark for the curly hair? Was that while you were modeling or when you started commercials?
Oh, no, okay. So the funny thing about, so everything, again, if you're an actor or performer, or frankly any person who does anything creative, you will go to do this, and then you will find and I'm not going to say limitations, but you will find out maybe more of who you are, okay? So when I did modeling, I started with modeling, and then, I wasn't growing. I'm only 5'2". So it was like, whoops, well, that career's out.
Right.
What's next? And then I started, I did voiceover and commercials, and commercials were great because it gives you a tremendous, it's like really good training.
Yeah.
It obviously pays well, but commercials teach you, it's sort of like a mini set, so there's, lighting and camera, and it's like shooting a little movie at the time in one day, which when you worked in commercials, well, like today, doing a commercial is every second needs to be perfect.
Right.
Not every minute or every 5 minutes, or you don't have a few minutes to rise to get to that place. It has to be happening very fast. So if you are doing commercials, or people who do commercials are very technically proficient, they know how to access their body, their voice, and get to what they need in a fraction of a second. It's really like that's the skill, and it is a skill, and it's a talent. And I have tremendous respect for people who do commercials because within that 30 seconds they have to give you exactly who they are, and it doesn't waver. It's specific.
Right.
So it is great for technique. In commercials, I would straighten my hair because in the 70s, everything was straight hair. And also modeling, straighten my hair.
Wow.
And it was I would not go out with curly hair. And literally, even in school, I went to a public school, you wouldn't get caught dead with curly hair. Naturally curly hair. The best I could do was sometimes, I put it in big rollers because that's what we had at the time. We didn't even have straighteners.
Right.
It's a whole thing. There was no curly hair products. And I bring this up because today we have all these things. I mean, honestly, it's like we have a pandemic right now. So it's like, I think that kids are going to be a little bit more aware of what is available and what isn't.
Yes.
And it gives them a feeling of limited. You mean I can't just go get that or, do that? Or what if I run out? So again, we're trying to give kids an understanding of what it was like back then, and adults too. And back then, it was you did the best with what you had, and if you weren't what was in, you were out. So for me, because I was shorter And because I was, my hair was curly, I had to change who I was in order to get work at that time. Now, the interesting thing about that is, I'm a very big person on being who you are. It's very, very important as an artist, an actor, a singer, a dancer, to be who you are, to be authentic to who you are.
Yes, absolutely.
You are who you are. That doesn't mean the world is ready for you.
Yeah, right.
You know,
That,
the world may not be ready
yes,
for you.
yes.
I, as an actress, had, curly hair, but the world saw that as frizzy, unkempt, not pretty, and, they didn't see it as nobody wanted to be the girl with the curly hair. That would be maybe the best friend, or the girl who wasn't taught how to groom herself, or, the frumpy friend, whatever it was. It was definitely not what was pushed in culture.
Right.
But if you are who you are, and you maintain who you are, and you maintain your integrity of who you are, eventually the world will find you. And eventually the world will be ready. And that's how the curly hair thing happened, because I would straighten my hair, and then one day, well, the first funny thing was I did a commercial, and I went in, it was it was a humid day in New York, and I let my hair go curly completely by accident. I was probably like 17, almost 18. It could have been even 18. And I let it go by accident, and I booked this commercial. And this commercial was a Trident Sugarless Mint commercial. And I booked the product shot. And there were people in that commercial who were like professional dancers and singers.
Uh-huh.
And at the beginning of the commercial, I was in the back, but I didn't know. I thought, I'm just a background person. And the director pulled me up and said, no, you're going to be the product shot. And I went, what? And all the other actors looked at me like, who are you? And I was the younger one. Like, I was like the younger of the group, like people in their 20s with professional dancing. And I was shocked. I felt bad because I was like, I don't deserve to be this white and with my hair. Like, what's up with this? And I felt very uncomfortable because, first of all, I was showing everybody my real hair, which was so, like, I was always ashamed of that,
Oh, that's such a vulnerable moment.
Oh, it was, like, really vulnerable. And I felt uncomfortable, especially getting the attention for something that I had been so ashamed of, and for, most of my life. I'm trying to hide, I certainly didn't think it was beautiful at all. When you're younger and you have, like, really tight curly hair. And I'm sure that everybody's out there saying, you're just... So I wound up doing the commercial, and then the crazy thing was, when it came out, the commercial, I was getting recognized on the streets of New York. Like, hey, you're that Trident Sugarless
Oh, wow.
You're like that commercial.
Yeah.
I was shocked. And it felt great, but at the same time, shocked. And curly hair was not in. This was late 70s and like maybe 79. It was not in. And and so when I did it, I was like, well, this is just a fluke. I better go back to flipping my hair. So I straightened my hair, I did other commercials, and I did a soap opera and Soul Turns. I wound up getting a part on that recurring part. And then the amazing thing again, and I was going to NYU. I had saved up my money to go to college. My parents didn't even care about college. They didn't. They were like, "There's what do you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to go to college. I want to have an American experience." Because my parents were immigrants, and I was like, "I want to live like an American. And Americans go to college. I want to have that like experience in my life." So I saved all my acting money, and I paid for college. What was fascinating to me was, of course, the day of my chemistry midterm, I get a call for this audition, and the audition was for a film called The Last American Virgin. And I said to my manager at the time, I am not going in. This name of this movie, who knows what that's about? I've got my college midterm ago. Like, well, if you change your mind, here's the address and show up at this time. And I'm like, I'm not going. So what do? Is I let my hair go curly because I'm studying all night like crazy trying to pass this exam.
Right.
I go to take the exam, and I realize that I have a better chance getting a week in the feature film. So I, take the test. I, finish up the test, and I ring the pound, and I beat the director, not the director, the producers, Golan and Globus, from Canon Film, and they said that the director, Boaz Davidson, had left already. He was on a plane, but they wanted to fly me out to L.A. the following week to audition for The Last American Virgin and do screen test.
Oh, wow.
And for them, it was based on my, and I think they had me read something, but it was very quick, and it was my luck. I mean, I know, and I was shocked because I didn't know that later on I found out that they were an Israeli company and that they saw curly hair as being in the culture.
Okay.
So, like I said, it wasn't ready maybe for an American culture. Had they been, American filmmakers, maybe I wouldn't have gotten it. But because the curly hair was seen beautiful in the Israeli culture, that gave me the opportunity. And when I was offered the film, I was, the film itself, if you see it, it's got these two sides. It's like a sex teen comedy,
yes,
but it's also like this heavy-duty film.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, well, what do I do? Like, there's nudity in it. But I thought, I will never be given this opportunity. This is the opportunity. This is my big break. And I knew I could show what I could do as an actress in the film. I knew that I could show it like sincerity and reality. And so I really, it was a very thoughtful move, and I was very, I knew it was my opportunity. And I think that's another thing to understand is if you're an actor or performer is the opportunities do not come back.
Yes.
There'll be different ones, but you can't choose when the opportunities happen. You just keep putting out your talent, and eventually it will happen. And so once you don't take the opportunity, you may find the sting of that if you don't take it. It might be years before you get another opportunity.
Right.
So the reality of life is you prepare, you do your best, you work towards excellence because you never know when that opportunity may come to you. But then when it does, you will be able to show your excellence. But if you sit and wait and expect things to come to you and you do not put in the work, then what happens is if you do get the opportunity, it will fade if you're not prepared to keep it going.
I love that you're saying this because we have a lot of actors here that don't train. Mm-hmm. And it blows my mind. You're not preparing for those opportunities. You have to.
Yeah. And when I say training, and I find this is very interesting, and I teach students too, so I'm going to share something really interesting. I had a student to me, during the pandemic, she's very she's a middle school student, she was kind of down because, we had to stop drama lessons, and I teach drama electives classes too, and she was kind of sad because she loved drama, and I said, you don't understand, the pandemic is the golden time for actors.
Yeah.
Not that you're going to perform on stage, but this is the time where you research. So as an example, you could every week study a new dialect, or perhaps you practice what it's like to play someone who's blind. What is their body? What kind of body movements? How do they talk to you? How do they walk? How do they? Where is their eye facing? If you're going to play someone who's got, or play someone with a disability, or play someone with a, with an emotional.
Yes.
Disability. I mean, honestly, the researching of characters never ends. I remember I once researched playing a cocaine addict, and I went on, we didn't even have online at that time, you couldn't just look things up.
Right.
And work on them and practice them. Couldn't practice the body and the voice of the character. I remember having to, I think I went to a Cocaine Anonymous meeting or something, I just had to bust a move and sort of get a sense of what do people who experience and feel that what do they do with their body and voice? Seriously, the world is the world is amazing. The internet is amazing for actors now. There's so much information. Learn to juggle. One of the things about actors, which is so funny, is that so many times they'll say, okay, well, we want you for commercials, but can you juggle for this? Or can you, shoot a bow and arrow? Or are you good at martial arts? Or, there's so many aspects, hula hooping. I mean, there are so many things that actors can do to increase their chances to get work right now. It's ridiculous.
And you're right, with the internet and all the ways that you can study, pick up a book about acting and read that. There's that masterclass website where you can study on there. I mean, there's YouTube. There are so many ways for actors to study, and right now is the perfect time.
It is, because we never have enough time
Right.
to study things. And I recommend when actors do study, like body and voice movements, and if they study with someone online, which is awesome too. Studying online, what's great about that is you will get material. You have to get your memorizing up to speed. If I told you, okay, you have a movie audition tomorrow, and you have a 3-page or 5-page scene to read, are you prepared to memorize something that quickly, or be familiar with it? Is your skill up to that level if I ask you to do it tomorrow? And the entertainment business has moved even faster than it did when it was back in my day.
Right.
So we can practice. I mean, again, what if I said you have an audition tomorrow for a feature film, or a theatrical, or a play, or well, not a play now, I guess, because of the pandemic, but, this is so important to practice. I noticed, even on, the nighttime talk shows, okay? I'm finding that so many of the people who work in nighttime talk shows work off a teleprompter. But now when they have to do it in reality, they're actually reading. And I'm realizing, oh my goodness, these people haven't gotten their memory skills up to par to be able to do that and face and do cold reading to their audience. So it's a never-ending. I'm not saying that you have to be perfect, but I'm saying that you can improve your skills and make yourself better, make you better. Not somebody else, competing with somebody, but how can you make it easier and better for you?
Actors should never stop learning.
Yeah, and I think there comes a place where, I know because I've been acting my whole life, professionally, that it also changes. Once I played the child, and then I played the teen, and then I played the young woman, and now I play the mom, and you go through these different things, so you're calling upon different parts of yourself, and you're finding your truth, and to me, that's what's the fun about that. To me, that's the lovely journey, that it is always learning, and I think most actors have a love for that. They have the love of the discovery of creating characters and working on things. They're most times, real actors are hard workers.
Yes.
That is the nature. But I will say that successful actors are self-disciplined. Meaning successful means those who are working, they go on auditions. They don't just sit back. They don't wait for the one. They go for the auditions that they know they won't get. Because they know that every audition they go for is practicing the task. Okay, well, maybe there's so many auditions I've gone through in my life where I'm like, I am so not right for this. This is just for them to be able to say, well, we don't like her, but we'll take her.
Right.
But I'll use but I'll use it for two opportunities. One is to be to practice my craft, practice what I do, to challenge myself. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is for the casting director to put yourself out there, so that maybe you put yourself out there and the casting goes, yeah, person's not right for this, but maybe Diane is right for that.
Right.
And so you must put yourself out there continually, because again, it's not you. Again, it's the timing of the world. When the world needs you, you will be called in.
Yes.
So, and so often actors, very true, we feel defeated, we go in for something you read. There's been auditions I've so wanted, the job, I really wanted it. But it's not the director's vision.
Right.
It's not the play's vision.
Right.
It's not whatever so I remember recently I went for a commercial, and they brought me in to do it, and I thought, I'd love to do this commercial, and they hired a man for the role.
What? Okay.
And it was like, well, casting is being stretched very largely now. And
Yeah.
good for them to bring me in because they had confidence in me doing it.
Right.
But I thought, wow, how fascinating that, that's just the director's choice. In 1 minute they go, yeah, well, we've decided we wanted to cast a totally different way. So, but imagine if I had taken that seriously as an actor and said, you know what, I'm not acting anymore. I'm done. That's it.
Right.
What a sad thing for the world.
Yeah. A lot of actors do struggle with the rejection. I think that's one of the hardest things for actors.
Well, I think for anyone, rejection is, who wants to be rejected? But that's because they take it personally.
Right.
And they see it as if they are not good enough. And guess what? Every person is on their game sometimes and not on their game other times.
Absolutely.
Don't kid yourself that Meryl Streep hasn't gone in and auditioned for something and went, it wasn't my best day, or, I just didn't feel right, or,
Yeah.
I didn't get it, and I wanted it, We got to stop thinking about what other people are doing, have fun, and start putting back into ourselves, and start treating ourselves like we wish other people would treat us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're talking about making things fun. You sang the national anthem at the Dodger Stadium in 2004?
Yay!
I want to hear this. I want to hear about this.
What a treat. Okay, this is an example of putting it out there. And also, I really believe in, and I have to say this, I having a positive head. And this is not I'm not saying a spiritual or God's taking care of me, or those can come from, whatever you believe. But the idea that you put things out into the universe and let the universe take care of where it goes.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
yes.
Right? But you must put it out there. You cannot close off that creative part of you just when it's getting started. You have to be free and fun and put out whatever you want. Don't start erasing. Use a pen. Just write. So we're going back to the national anthem.
Yes, I want to hear this.
So this is a great story. I was at Dodger Stadium with my family, and we saw the giant Tron that was outside, the big Tron thing.
Yeah.
And this is a long time ago when we used to be able to go to baseball games.
Yeah.
Back in my day, we used to go to the basket game, watch games with lots of people. And then, 80s movie on the Tron. They were showing it in between things, and I thought, oh my gosh, if they're going to show any movie, it should be Better Off Dead.
Yes.
Because we shot it in Dodger Stadium the last
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
And I was very, that moment is very, I didn't think, they should show my movie. I didn't come from an egotistical place. I came from whoa, that would be, it would be so fun to do an autograph signing
Yeah.
Dodger Stadium, and how fun that would be for people to come and have it signed. I just think that I know a lot of people are fans of the film, and I thought that would be really fun. It would be fun, for my family, if I had a movie I liked to come to Dodger Stadium and have signing, whatever. So I had a manager at the time, and I said to him, why don't you just put it out there? Just ask them if they ever do autograph signings at Dodger Stadium. And here I am putting something out, an idea. And an idea that, again, and this is the head, good for me, good for you, right?
Yeah,
good for
yeah.
Me, good for you, it makes me happy, and it'll make you happy. Manager contacted Dodger Stadium. They said, well, we don't do autograph signings, but would you like to sing the national anthem? And so he comes back to me and tells me this, and I'm like, they don't even know I can sing. What's up with this? So I'm thinking, maybe they just like Better Off Dead. I don't know, what is this? Now, luckily and wonderfully, I studied singing. And like I said, what are you doing during the pandemic? Study, right?
Yes.
So I studied singing for years, but I studied operatic singing.
Oh, okay.
So I did that for I'm going to say 5 years. I was singing lessons and studied art in competitions, and I loved to sing. And I even done musicals. But I never became a singer because my voice wasn't very big, and I also didn't have a pop voice. So I was like, okay, well, I can sing. So I said, but one moment, this is really funny. I was like, I feel the fear, but I'm still going forward. Feel the fear, go forward. I'm like,
yes,
I want to face my fears. And that's one of the things I do in my life. is that I always say, what am I afraid of? Okay, I'm going to do that.
Yes.
Isn't that funny?
I will do that with everything in my life that I fear except jumping out of a plane. I can't do it.
Yeah, no. Well, that's good. Anything that causes like death. Yeah, definitely. I'm with you there. So I wound up. He contacted them and they said, "Oh, we'd love to have you sing, but you're either going to sing the American anthem or the French or the Canadian anthem." And I said, "I don't even know the Canadian anthem. Like, what is up with that?" Like, and I was thinking, do I feel comfortable with that? It's not really my country. It was very strange. I'm thinking, well, maybe they wanted me to sing it because they're better off dead, and playing sort of with a French accent. I had no idea what the deal was. But I thought, okay, well, I'll learn both. And I was singing the Canadian anthem, and I practiced it, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable. It was weird.
Yeah.
But I thought, I'm just going to let it, let the universe decide what to be. Well, they come back later and they said, no, we actually have a date. It's going to be like in a month from now, and we want you to do the American anthem. I'm like, okay, great. So I practice singing lessons. Like I go and do my lessons, with a singing teacher. I'm, doing it like every week. And then the other thing I practice, because as an actress, I practice relaxing in a nanosecond. So one of the things as a singer, you might do your voice, but when you are tense, the first thing that's going to hit is your voice. So I would practice instantly relaxing. Like I would be like tense my body up and I go, can I relax in 1 second? My stomach, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
My throat. I practice that skill, and I'd be driving. And all of a sudden practice. So that the minute I get anywhere, I can instantly, get my body relaxed. That doesn't mean I'm losing my energy. That means can I keep my energy but relax the tension? So that again, it requires practice and mental and physical and a mental connection to be able to do that. They said, I said, well, do they want to hear me sing? And then they said, no, we're going to have you sing the day of your performance, and you're going to sing it at Dodger Stadium. And if we like it, we'll mic you up and have you do it. But if we don't, then we're just going to play the anthem without singing. And I'm thinking, what?
That's bizarre.
Wait, stop. You're not listening to me sing before. You don't know if I can sing. And then they're going to have me sing the day of, and it's going to be with the wonderful pianist from Dodger Stadium, the woman who would play the organ. Such a sweet woman, older lady, but brilliant, like just lovely.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, they don't like my singing, and then I realized, wait a minute, this was after Roseanne had sang the national anthem, and because she had done it in what they consider a disrespectful manner, they were very hesitant to let anyone just go and sing it. So they weren't really judging my singing as much as they were judging my interpretation.
Gotcha.
So I get to like, my family comes, and I'm really excited because my son and my daughter are really young, and they got to sit behind home plate. And so I was like, oh, this is so, what a lovely opportunity for them. And so I go back, and they have me go to the level where the cameras are, all the way at the top of the stadium and there's all these tripods, and all these camera guys they're like eating cup of soup. They're like, just hanging out and talking, and they're like, okay, now sing. And I'm like, okay. I mean, seriously, like, it would feel like you suddenly stood up in a school cafeteria and started to have to sing the national anthem.
That is so crazy.
It was crazy. So I'm standing there, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get myself all, visualized and get all centered. And I take a deep breath, and I start, oh, say, have you seen? And I start singing, and then like a few minutes go by, and they go, okay, fine, mic her up. I didn't even get to finish the whole song. And they went, okay, mic her up, let's bring her down. And I was like, oh, okay. And I mean, even with all the experience I've had, I've never had that experience.
Yeah.
And but luckily, I was in musicals, and I've sung in front of people, and I love to sing and dance. And luckily, all the previous practice that I did enabled me to own it. You know?
You were
I was
ready
like,
for that
well,
opportunity. You were ready.
you know, if they're going to have belief in me doing it, I'm going to have belief in myself doing it, right?
Absolutely.
So I get down there, they put me on home plate, and the camera is on me, and all of a sudden, and they introduce me, and I'm thinking, well, they're going to introduce me as Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead. I'm about to sing, and I notice the first thing they do is say, and Diane Franklin sings the national anthem. And I was like, wait a minute. Who knows Diane Franklin? Nobody knows me. I couldn't imagine that anyone would even know my name. I know people know me from film.
Right.
But at the time, I mean, when I did my films in the 80s, I did no publicity. It wasn't considered, unless the studio paid for it, they paid for publicists. Publicists are expensive. There was no way that no one would know me unless they saw my film.
Right.
So I was really like, nobody knows who I am. This is like, just like, okay, whatever. And also, now time goes by very, very slowly. Sometimes it goes quickly when you're doing something, but you have those visions and you remember things in slow motion. So I'm standing in there, and all of a sudden I notice the entire audience is not looking at me. And I'm thinking, well, I start to sing, and I'm like focusing, and no one's looking at me, and I'm thinking, well, I guess I'm not that good. Whatever, okay, I'm not singing that well. I start to sing, and I'm singing, and I start to relax more because no one is really particularly paying attention to me. They're looking past me. And so I'm like just singing, and I'm relaxing, and I'm just getting into it, and it ends, and I realized that they had been looking at the Tron.
Yes.
And so I had no idea, and I used it to my benefit. And I remember when I sang, I visualized singing to my mom, because my mom, she actually passed away, but like I visualized singing to her. And so I was just like in my own place and just let it be something that was, I figured, well, if I'm not that good, it doesn't matter because I'm singing to my mom and we're going to have a good time anyway. So,
yeah.
And it was, people afterwards were so gracious, and they were like, that's the way an anthem should be sung, because I was singing it with, classical, operatic, and it was a beautiful, wonderful experience. And, people were like, are you going to do it again? And I thought, it made sense at Dodger Stadium because that's where we did Better Off Dead.
Right.
But I didn't, to go to other places, I just felt like that should be done by people who are professional singers, and, I'm very gracious to the idea that everyone has their thing, but who knows, maybe, when I'm 105, I might decide to, you never know.
Yeah. There's a fun little thing that my son and I have a 15-year-old son, really crazy, quirky kid. I just adore him. And he and I share the $2 cash joke with each other from that film.
I love that.
We do.
Thank you for saying that. I just I'm holding a book about Better Off Dead. I don't know if you know this. I've written books, and this is my third one. It is a tribute to Better Off Dead, hopefully done by the end of the year. It will hopefully be the go-to book for that film. And I just interviewed the paperboy, and he was like,
I love it.
And I said, oh, right? It's just literally like last Saturday, I interviewed him, and I said, Diane, you have no idea what that means to people. He said, I don't know, like, I didn't know, people don't even, I look so different now. And I said, Diane, you don't understand. Every single time I talk to people, the line that people remember and they love is, I want my $2.
Yes.
And so you are part of American history.
Yes.
It's lovely. People are going to love this interview because he is so self-effacing.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Great.
Now, you've written 2 books and you're working on your third, you just said.
You can get them on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I did my first in 2012. It was my first autobiography called Diane Franklin, The Excellent Adventures of the Last American French Exchange Babe of the 80s, which could tell you how I really did not assume anyone would remember me at all, which is what the name of the, it's like, there's links of an idea plan. And that book was about, if you want a general book about my life, my background, how I came to acting, how does someone come from knowing nothing about the acting business, being just a kid from the suburbs, to being a famous actress, a star in films. How does that happen? This is the book for you. It's a wonderful book, and I really realized, there's so many stories about perhaps the problems or the hardships of being an actor, and my goal with this was to say, you must go after your dreams, and that's where your happiness is. It's not about things. It's not about money. True happiness comes from embracing who you are and going after what you want and loving your life. That was my first book, and you can just look up Diane Franklin books. My second book was about, I realized that I was the first actress to kickstart the curly hair trend in the 80s.
Yes.
To make it beautiful. Guys went to see that film, they fell in love with this dark, curly-haired image, and then they went out and they looked for girls who had that look. And then it opened up ethnicity in the 80s. It's a major thing that affected American culture and history. I knew it when it happened because I knew that it had happened, but I didn't write about it. But I wrote about it during the time. So I was writing, I can't believe this. I had a curly-haired girl and getting leads, and all my films afterwards pretty much had that curly hair.
Right.
It was embraced in culture. People, literally, flash dance and dirty dancing and all that was a reflection of that look being embraced by American culture. I wanted to make sure it was written in a book because it was important for people to know if you in life don't take the time to acknowledge the reality or the history of something, it fades away. So I wanted to give kids a hold on that. Like, if girls with curly hair you could be pretty with straight hair or curly hair, blonde or dark hair. Why couldn't we have both? And today we do, but there was a time where we didn't. And so that's why I created this book. So that was my second book, The Excellent Curl of the Last American Virgin Exchange Babe of the 80s.
Now, I love that. I love that movie, and I saw that movie when I was probably too young to have watched it.
Everybody, both me.
Yeah.
Everybody was too young to watch it.
Yeah. But I remember thinking how amazing your hair was, because I have bone straight hair. I can curl the crap out of my hair with a curling iron and make it curly, and it falls out within like 2 hours.
But you see, I wanted your hair.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Is that crazy?
So there is a mutual love of just different styles. And I think it is also, look, like you said, you tried to curl your hair. The products weren't there. Now we have a little bit more, stuff you can do.
Yeah.
But it was a thing, it was a real thing. And it speaks to, I think the key is what American culture does is it decides at a certain point what is beautiful and what is, they wouldn't say not beautiful, but really what is beautiful. And so that's why I created the books, and I'm really into saying, there's many kinds of beauty. And I'm very much into people embracing their own beauty,
Yes.
Everybody is beautiful, but you're not deciding that for yourself. You're always looking at other people going, well, they're more beautiful than I am. And, whatever definition that is, and that's why I'm really happy right now that we're showing a lot of different kinds of beauty.
Yeah. Yes. You have to accept yourself the way you are, because don't let anybody tell you what they think is beautiful and what's not. You just have to make your mind up for yourself and believe in yourself and be confident.
It is so interesting when you say that, that I always say, why do you ask other people permission to be as great as you want to be, or as beautiful as you want to be, or to do what you want to do? Why do you ask other people? It's not their life.
Right.
They're not going to care as much as you do. So that turned it all around. That turned it. And like, here's the thing. Like, you just told me that you love your son, 15. You love him so much. This is the greatest gift. Your kids, you love those kids, and they will pass the love on to the people they meet and the people that see. You have to give love to get love.
Yeah, we are definitely our biggest
Yeah.
critics. We do. We are so harsh to ourselves. So you've done TV and you've done film. Do you have a preference? Do you prefer one over the other, or do you just enjoy it all?
I am one of those actresses. I enjoy every aspect of entertainment. I like theater, I like television, I like film, I like commercials, I like voiceover, I like soap operas, I like drama, horror, sci-fi. I mean, for me, it's always been about the role. For me, it was like, is it a great role? But on the other hand, because of that, I've never regretted any part I took, because I've always liked the parts I played, and I've never been, what do they call typecast.
Yeah.
Because, when you get typecast, you're only playing that one role, and you would do that role in many other films. My experiences, I've really enjoyed the roles I've done now. Television, I like because it's technical, but it's also like a small role. It's a very exciting thing to work on a TV set. Everybody's got their jobs. They know what they're doing. They've been there. They worked on the show for a long time. They know their medium. They know what they want, and they know what they want from their actors. And so it's exciting. It's almost like coming into a world and just suddenly experiencing that world for a week. And it's fun. I mean, I've done sitcoms. I've done drama. So I really enjoy it. And it's also, you're coming sort of into a family. So they're usually very excited to have you as a guest star.
Oh, sure.
To have you come on, because they're like, oh, fun, this is fresh, and, we all know each other, but this is a new person. So,
right.
And they usually want to make you feel comfortable and just to learn to work with different actors. So I like that. And film is great, because that's where I feel the most comfortable. It's those moments where you shoot something again and again, you try a different interpretation, or you try something, throw something out to the other actor, and you're in the moment, and every take can be different, and
right.
So yeah, and it's very exciting. I like that. Even the internet though is very different now. Internet acting,
sure,
is more improv based. I find that when I do internet shows, the people who I work with are very more interested in me. I really have to know what I'm doing. I have to be very confident about what I do, and I have to that takes another skill. That's more improv based. And I've actually enjoyed doing that more and more, because I learned about improv more from my daughter. She does acting and improv, and that's her basic training. Her name is Olivia De Laurentiis, and she has a Snapchat show called Apocalypse Gold.
Oh, cool.
I'm plugging child now.
That's all right.
So she has a great show. She writes and directs, works with a comedy partner, Sydney Heller, and they're dear friends, and they're sort of like the Tina Fey and Amy Poehler of comedy today. And they have their own show, and they're just being picked up for a second season. So she's working on that now. And
that's awesome.
And she's 23, and she talks like me, and she looks like me, kind of, and I think you'll love the show. It's hilarious. Apocalypse Gold.
All
Check
right.
it out on Snapchat. It's a series.
Oh, cool.
The first season is out. The second season is being made right now.
Oh, fantastic. I'm going to check that out, definitely.
Son is a singer, a musician. He plays the double bass, and he is a songwriter, and he has his first album out, and it's on Spotify. So look for Nick De Laurentiis, and his album's called Good Boy. So it's very calm and relaxing, and just he has classical training.
Oh, cool.
So his music has got that kind of, you'll hear it's his own style, and he's a tremendous musician. He wrote everything, singing and playing, but he's just, I have to say, a unique, gifted, talented musician, and I have to say he's an artist in his music. So anyway, check that out too, Spotify or whatever musical platforms you listen to.
Very cool. Now, are you a collector of anything?
Good question. Am I a collector? I like nostalgia.
Okay.
And I'd have to say that, if anything, if I collect things, I don't collect a lot, but what I do collect are things that I think will have value in the future, and they are based on nostalgia. I mean, it's kind of funny because, like, for instance, even when I was collecting stuff, like putting stuff away from my kids, I kept all their, like, my son had, like, Bionicles. So I kept all the Bionicles. And
Yeah.
I know that's weird, but I thought someday someone's going to look back and go, oh, remember, when we had that? And I just thought maybe, that won't be there anymore. It'll be a whole new thing.
Right.
Or Barbies. There's some old Barbies I have that are just like, but I would have to say that if I collect anything, they're fun things, like, fun old DVDs or fun toys. But if my collecting is, the thing I'd probably collect the most are nostalgic things. And I have my acting things, all my, pictures and photos and videos.
Right.
And when you're a model, you need to have a portfolio. So I think that's where it started, where I remember my mom used to keep my old, modeling pictures and all that stuff together. And so I was raised with, keep mementos, like the old pictures from my parents.
Right.
Hold on to those because those are the things you can't replace.
Right.
And we recently had, like, the Wolfie Fire where I am. And the thing I wanted to keep the most were my photos and my, mementos.
Yeah. Do you have any hobbies?
I wish I had time for hobbies. My hobbies are, I love to paint and I love to draw. When I do have free time, that's what I do.
Okay.
I will take a class. I kickbox. I take kickboxing
Oh, cool. Yeah.
classes.
Yeah,
And
you
then
are in really good shape.
Thank you. I think that is because I know this is a bizarre thing, but when I always remember, like, when my mom was much older when I was born, like, she had me when she was 40.
Mm-hmm.
And I always remember thinking, when you get older, do you have to get out of shape? Like, is that, like, does your body have to, like, start looking kind of older? Like, I don't know. Is that a thing that has to happen? So as I've gotten older, I'm like, I want to see if it doesn't have to happen. So I think that for me, I always try to stay in good shape because I'm saying, when is it when your body, like, for me, I look and go, at any moment, I could pull out my back, or I could, hurt my foot, or I could, have an accident or whatever. So I may not be able to exercise when I'm older. So
Right.
That's why I take advantage of it now, because I know that there'll be a time where I won't be able to, and I'll wish I had. And that's why I do it. So it's extremely interesting because it's not for vain reasons. It's
Right.
not like I have to look beautiful. It's because I'm saying to myself, there will be a time when this will not be an option. And so I want to take advantage while I still can move and while I still can
Yeah.
do
And
it. So,
I believe that
Right?
the body in motion stays in motion.
yes.
Yeah, I think the
Yes,
longer
and,
you use
it
it,
is great if you don't use it.
Yeah.
It will. It starts to, like, your muscle mass and everything disintegrates. And I didn't realize that until once I was in the hospital, and I remember being in bed for a while, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't wait to exercise.
Right.
And believe me, that's not something I like to do. I just do it,
Yeah. So we go from staying in shape to my next question that I ask everyone just because I want to know. And you may not even eat this. What is your favorite type of cake?
I am so down. Devil's food chocolate cake.
Ooh. Icing?
Good question. Not necessarily, but you know what? Let me think. If it's good, if it's like a cream cheese kind, I'll go for it. Devil's food chocolate. I love the devil's food chocolate cake
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
And I remember, it was so funny when I was pregnant with my kids, I was nursing, and when you're nursing, you get, like, really tired, and I would have chocolate cake for lunch. So good. I was just like, I need the energy, and chocolate cake, that's happening
Yes.
now. So yes, chocolate cake. So, and yes, I have a sweet tooth.
I do too. You're not alone there.
Yeah. I love it. And I'm not a crazy exerciser, but I do watch the amount I eat.
Yes.
Because I'm small, like I'm 5'2", like not that tall. So how I actually maintain weight throughout my life is that because when you're small, your weight is really fast. So whenever I would gain 5 pounds, I'd be like, oh, gotta watch it again. So salads and watch like the vegetables thing, and then if I have like a chocolate cake or whatever, and I'd still eat it, but like I have to watch the weight if I got 5 pounds up, and then I'd watch it immediately. So my weight never got too big because I constantly have to monitor, and that is the secret. If you want to know my maintaining, was that I never ignored my body, but I wasn't hyper crazy, like oh, I can't eat that, or like watching calories. And it was all based on feel, like this feels right, or this doesn't feel, this is not giving me energy, or So I think we really need to get back to feeling our bodies as opposed to objectifying our bodies and looking at it from the outside. Oh, I don't look good. No, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're a little heavy and you feel good, and like, okay, and I rock that, and then some you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And I must say, with this pandemic, I have to share this. People are going to be, because they're not moving around a lot, they're going to be more irritated. And when you have more irritation, like you're keeping your energy in, you need to let it out. So, do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups. It'll get the energy out, and then you'll feel more relaxed. So I say that to students as well. Like, anybody who's like emotional, if you're an emotional person, you need to exercise to get that energy out. And then you will feel better. I guarantee you. I promise you.
Now, who is someone you'd like to work with in the future that you haven't worked with yet?
That is a great question, because there are so many actors that I would love to work with. First of all, I do not know why I have not worked with Robert Downey Jr. Or, I know it's weird, but even Tom Cruise. Like, why was I? Because even I heard that Tom Cruise is very tall. I was like, why was I never working with him? I would have been a natural actress.
Yes.
I was like, I would have been the perfect size for him. But whatever. And Robert Downey Jr., I feel like our personalities would work really well together.
Yes.
I feel like I could, talk with him, like, we would act very nicely together in something. Comedy, drama, romance, whatever. Well, I've worked with John Cusack, which is awesome. And I've worked with Keanu, which is awesome.
Yes, Keanu has my heart. I'll just be honest. He's my fave.
Yeah.
And he's just a good human.
I could have worked with him in Bill and Ted, again, but that's their decision, whatever. I would love to have worked with Tom Hanks, but it's funny because, maybe even, in the future, that would be great.
I would like to see you in a Western series with Michael Pare called Dogwood Pass that I happen to be helping write and direct, but we'll talk about that another time.
And I would say yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely. You have no problem with me saying yes to that. Because we're on. Harrison Ford, which I thought was funny. I was like, I've never thought of that, but that's because, maybe they like Harrison Ford, or it was like a different generation.
I can see that, though. I could see that.
That's good. It's certainly like, who I'd love to work with, who is funny, but this is just like a personal favorite of mine, Jermaine Clement. Okay, Jermaine Clement, now he's a comedic, usually seen as comedic actor. He did Flight of the Conchords. And we're very, I think, different in type of voice. He's somebody I admire. I think he's great. Wow.
Who I think you should work with, and you would probably be great with this person with comedy, is Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, yes. Oh, he'd be great. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. Absolutely. Yeah. No, we would have a blast.
Yeah.
That would be great. That's a compliment to me. That's really nice. It would be great for the people who listen to this podcast to send you what they would like.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I'll ask them.
I would love that because, I am working with, I'm still working. I'm doing acting, and I have a movie coming out supposedly this year, High Holiday. And that is with Tom Arnold, Jennifer Tilly, and Cloris Leachman. I have a movie called Waking Nightmare, where I'm working with, I worked with Jameson Newlander. He played my husband, and this actress, Shelley Rigner. Shelley was in the Pitch Perfect movie.
Oh, okay.
She played one of the Bellas. And so she's, and she plays my daughter. She's wonderful. And that movie is amazing. When that comes out, people are going to be shocked at my performance. This is, again, an example of being on a role that is so juicy, and they're going to flip out. The director actually contacted me and said, Diane, you are going to shock people. People are going to flip out. It's like,
oh, I love that. I love it.
Yeah, but please, I would love for people who are in your podcast audience to give me their recommendations. I would love to. Actors that they would love to see me act in. And I would do romance. I would do sci-fi, comedy. Yeah, I'm drama. I'm open. What kind of subject matter?
I think they should do a sequel to Better Off Dead.
Yes, I mean that would be hilarious. I mean, it's funny. My daughter is doing her second season, but in her third season of her Snapchat show, which she may be doing as well, I told her I definitely want to be in that one, and I want her to play her mother. So it would be a funny role.
That's fun. Now, has there been a time where you dealt with a disappointment that kind of still sticks with you?
I do have one disappointment. I mean, there's been a lot of auditions in my career, a lot of jobs I wish I had gotten. Well, the one disappointment, but at the same time, I really feel like things happen for a reason. Yeah. And I would never have been able to do Better Off Dead had this worked out.
Oh, okay.
My guess is, it was Amadeus.
Oh, okay.
It was between Elizabeth Berridge and I for the role of Constanza. And boy, I wanted that role. Oh, I just kept talking. I mean, that part was, I just wanted that so badly, and I worked so hard on it. I mean, the audition for that, I must have auditioned for that. I mean, it was a length of time. It probably took 3 weeks of auditioning. Wow. For that. And it's solid auditioning. Well, I auditioned, I flew in from California to New York to audition. Then I went in and read for Milos Forman, worked with Milos Forman in New York, and then they flew me to Prague, to Czechoslovakia. I took 2 planes with the producer and Elizabeth and got to Czechoslovakia and had to be ready to live there and shoot the film for a couple of months. And I screen tested once I got there with every scene in the film, every scene that I had to do. And then they came to us and they said, they wanted us to do it all again. It was the most grueling audition process that I think has ever happened. Yeah. I can't imagine another actor having to go through. And when I did previous, it was in full costume and full makeup with the actors who were in it, because basically what happened was Meg Tilly was set to play the role in the film, and unfortunately broke her leg and could not do the part, so they had to replace it immediately because they were in production. I wish that Meg had been able to do it, because I think she's so talented. But when she didn't get it, it was an opportunity. And had I gotten that film, it would have made me have an A-list career. I mean, I believe it would have totally been like A-list film, because that film was, the Oscars, and it was a popular film, and it was fascinating. But the audition process was also unbelievably awesome. To wear those outfits and to say that dialogue and to play Constanza. I mean, when I auditioned, I played it as if I was doing the part. Right. And so just to be able to have that, and they actually sent me the footage, so I'm grateful that I have that as a memory for, eternity, to have that, as a keepsake of auditioning for that. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds really grueling. It does.
Yeah. But again, and then the way the director told me about not getting the part was actually really good. Because what they did was they sat Elizabeth and I both down, And he, the director, Milos Forman, and the producer, Saul Zaentz, we were sitting like in this little like living room area, and he said to me, well, you know, we looked at the footage and blah blah blah, and you know, based on the look, we need to give the part to Elizabeth based on the look.
Okay.
And I thought, as opposed to you didn't get the part.
Right, right.
or you know, somebody, you know, my agent calling me and saying, well, you know, you didn't get it. Or it was done in a very humane way. And my reaction to it was, because there was so much tension, you know, I was like, so much tension, was whatever is best for the film
Yes.
is the most important. And congratulations, Elizabeth, you know, like whatever is best, that's the most important thing, so good. And then I went to my room and I cried because
Sure.
you know, it was a combination of that, all the tension building up, and then also obviously wanting that role, but then also like I remember being on the plane coming back and saying, you know, if she did a good job and she was better for the film, then that's what has to be happening. And I was actually back to back. I just finished a movie of the week called Summer Girl, and I just finished that, and I was exhausted. And I thought, you know what, I wouldn't have brought my best work to this film, so it's just as well. So I had closure.
Yeah.
But at the end, I had like F. Murray Abraham and I were like, we became friends, and I was grateful. I was so happy to meet Milos Forman because he had directed Cuckoo's Nest, and that was another thing. Like just the quality of people. I love Milos. He was just lovely. Great
So
guy.
even though it was a disappointing situation, you walked away feeling good about it, and you learned a lot, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had total closure.
Yeah.
I was not bitter about it. And the only thing, again, I said to them, please send me the audition, because it was such a huge emotional part of my career that I just wanted a piece of that. Like, I did that, you know. It was
Sure.
real. So, and I wonder, like, if other actors have done that as well, you know, get their screen tests, films that they haven't gotten. I mean, I've auditioned for other films, like, you know, I've gotten called back. I got a call back on Flashdance. I got a call back. I was actually screen tested for Karate Kid. I actually got called back for Bachelor Party, so I could have almost worked with
Oh, wow.
Tom Hanks, which
Yeah.
was kind of funny. But there were films I got. I think I auditioned for 16 Candles, or got a callback, or I usually got callbacks, and you know, you just never know how things turn. But I'm a very grateful person, and very happy that I was offered. You know, I just can't move forward. So
Yes.
you have to have that kind of attitude, I think, to stay in the business.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't look back.
Yep.
You know.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you get that. You know, you get that. So let's say that any girl who's ever cried, like, yeah, you know, it's like you're being broken up in a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I loved you. You didn't love me back.
Yes.
We're breaking up. Wait a minute. Give me another audition. I need to give me another audition.
If people want to find you on social media, where can they find you?
Oh, that is so sweet. And my social media I've got a lot of it, just because I never know where people are going to go. You can go to Twitter, which is Diane Franklin 80, no S, Diane Franklin 80 on Twitter, and then Diane Franklin. You're going to look up my Diane Franklin Facebook is full. I mean, people have tried to get on it, and I'm always bringing them to my group page.
Right.
But I'm on my group page. That's my group page. So look up Diane Franklin under group, and you'll see 2 black and white pictures from my film, from my books.
Okay.
And that's me. So if you're on Facebook and you want to friend me there, do it. And then I'm on Instagram, actress Diane Franklin. And that is, especially for people who don't know my career, that's a really good place to post, because I post old nostalgic things and new work.
So I'm going to, when I post this, I'll remind everybody to check out your son's music and your daughter's show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
so awesome. You're so nice. And just to let you know, Olivia also is on a show called Prank Encounters, which she acts in and she does improv in. Your son probably will like this. And it is the kid with Gaten from Stranger Things.
Okay.
It's his prank show. The guy
Okay.
with curly hair.
Okay. Cool.
And so she did an episode. She did like 3 episodes on that prank show, but she got picked up again, and she was about to shoot it when the pandemic hit.
Oh.
So that's just another thing. But her Apocalypse Gold is her show. Like, she's creator.
That's
And
awesome.
You're gonna die. You're gonna laugh so
Yeah.
hard. It is. What does well, you know what it is? It's what does a millennial do if it's the end of the world? And well, here we go. We're at the end of the world. So,
Oh, I love it. She's getting all kinds of inspiration now, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is. You look at it and go, well, what's so great about this? This is happening now. You'll find it really funny. So
Fantastic.
I'm so proud of her and my son. Both.
Yes.
They're my joy. Like you said with your son, you love him. And what does your son like to do? What's his thing?
He's a gamer.
Nice.
He is a gamer.
Tell him to make a Better Off Dead or Bill and Ted's game.
There you go. Yeah, I ask him all the time what he wants to do.
I want my $2, right?
Yeah.
Go after the $2, right?
I love that. It's funny because I just said that to him like 3 or 4 days ago, and he lost it.
Really?
Yes.
Tell him that I will help publicize it if he does it, if he creates it.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
So
I'll tell
here's
him.
inspiration. Tell him I'm backing him. I'll do the voice or whatever. I'll publicize it, advertise it, and yeah, because a Better Off Dead game would be hilarious. Get the Paperboy. So
It would be fantastic. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Diane, thank you so much.
Thank you. And you asked some great questions. I'm so sorry. The one thing I do is I talk so much.
That's
that
good.
It's not a problem editing.
No, it's fantastic.
Well, it's funny. A lot of actors don't like improv. Podcasts are improv.
Sure.
But anyway, thank you for your time and being so awesome. And then just send me the link when you're done, and I'll post it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Well,
All
okay,
right.
that's all. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good try. Bye.
Bye. Feel free to share this podcast with your friends and family. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at It's Me, Lana Reed. Also, stop by Apple Podcasts to subscribe, rate, and review. Many thanks to the musical genius of Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech for our super slick theme song, Jet Fueled Vixen. Thank you to Michelle Lawson for our witty and fun disclaimer.